everybody, and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this episode, we're reviewing New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 103. If you haven't seen any of my shows before, we grade everything here on a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Let's jump right in. First match of the show, we have Drew Adler versus JR Kratos. I thought this was a solid opening match. I like Drew Adler a lot. I think he's someone that's a kind of an untapped indie talent that hasn't been on a bigger stage as of yet. I like to see him getting these opportunities. Kratos, to me, he is the resident, I guess you would say, monster in New Japan, and I think he could be portrayed a little bit better than he is, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought this was a solid opening match. Kratos does pick up the win here. I'm giving this one a 3. Coming from that, we get an interview with Anthony Henry and JD Drake, aka the Workhorsemen, and they're talking about a match. I believe it's going to be next week. They didn't say when, but I assume it's next week because usually these backstage segments foretell a match coming the next week. I don't know why that sentence was so hard for me to say, but they're talking about a match against Kushida and Ren Narita, which I think is going to be an absolute banger of a match. If you haven't seen, I know JD Drake's been on AEW a lot, especially on Dark and Elevation. Anthony Henry has, and Anthony Henry was part of NXT a while back. If you haven't seen these two as a team, they are an absolutely fantastic team. Ren Narita and Kushida, I think they're going to be awesome together as well. I'm very much looking forward to that. Next up, we have the match that was talked about last week, Rocky Romero versus Dax Harwood of FTR. This was awesome. This was definitely my favorite match of the night. I said it last week when they announced this and when they were talking about this that I believed that match was going to be amazing, and it held up. Rocky Romero doesn't quite get the respect he deserves, and I think we need to give the guy his flowers while he's still here, because he's still here being wrestling, because he's absolutely amazing. And Dax, what can you say about Dax? Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, FTR, are putting on one hell of a year. Probably one of the best runs of any tag team in any year in the history of wrestling. This was a fantastic match. My favorite of the night. Dax picks up the win. I'm giving this one a 5. Now, coming from that, we go to our main event, which is a 3-way dance. We have Blake Christian versus Hiromo Takahashi versus El Desperado. This was really cool. I don't know if this is El Desperado's first time coming to America, but I don't remember him. If he hasn't came that often. I know he's been to Mexico, but I don't remember him making any of the American excursions, and I know someone's going to put in the comments the 10 times he appeared in Ring of Honor that I totally forgot about, which it may be true, it may not. I thought this was a really good match as well. Blake Christian showing that he fits in with two of the other great cruiserweights or junior heavyweights in the world in Hiromo and El Desperado. I really enjoyed this. El Desperado picks up the win. I'm giving this one a 4. Overall, I thought the show was really good. Again, I say this every week. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong is my favorite weekly wrestling show. It is the best, most consistent wrestling show every week. We may not get some of the super highs, but we also don't get any of the super lows. I thought this was a really good show. Overall, I'm going to give the show a 4. I really enjoyed that. And if you made it to the end, let's smash that like button. Let's share. Subscribe if you haven't. Let's put El Desperado or Despy in the comments for El Desperado picking up the win on the main event. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 103.